It sounded like there was a baby crying next door. Shh. Well, you can't hear it now, but I swear I heard a baby crying, like right next door, like just now, a second before I started the video. Maybe I'm hearing things. Paranormal activity. What's going on your sexy people on YouTube, and welcome to a brand new video. This is finals week. Well, finals week for most other people, excluding me. I'm not in school this semester, you see. I just float around and bother my friends and strangers. Speaking of bothering strangers, have you seen the new Spider-Man movie? Look, I promise I'll figure out a better transition. But for now, since I don't have school, I have a crap load of free time. Since I have so much free time, I occupy them by watching movies. There, that was a way better transition. So I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. But before we get into that, there's something important I need to address. Animal care. In the world where our lives are preoccupied by business, schoolwork, raising families, and meeting deadlines, we forget that there are many homeless animals being ran over by cars every day. Okay, that sounded terrible. Let me do that again. In the world where our lives are preoccupied by texting, tweeting, and Taylor Swift, we overlook the tiny creatures that are desperately in need of our help. Every hour an animal is beaten, abused, and neglected. For many of them, help came too late. I know this is a little awkward from a guy whose country is famous for eating cats and dogs, and maybe Jackie Chan. But this is becoming a serious issue. I walk to work in a restaurant every day, and recently I've been seeing some gruesomely chilling sights of bodies of animals ran over by cars, died of hunger, and suffered from the insufferable diseases because nobody took care of them. It's time to take action. Join the ASPCA. Donate for the charity. Every little penny helps. Help fight animal cruelty. I'll put a link to their website in the description box, so welcome to check them out. No, this is not a sponsored video. I don't make videos for money, so there's no sponsor needed. I just feel like this is a great cause. Jessica from Political Analysis, are you seeing this? I'm a nice guy who loves animals. So please stop ignoring all the chocolate left by your pillow every day and calling the campus police on intrusion alert. I mean, what's that about? But seriously, donate to the ASPCA and join the effort to help animal brutality. It's a serious issue. You know what else is a serious issue? Having a Spider-Man movie that's over 2 hours long. Let me first off say that I liked Amazing Spider-Man 2 a lot more than I initially thought I would. I'm sure I wasn't alone in this. I mean, the 47 trailers they had for this movie really didn't do it justice, because I wasn't all that excited when I saw them. Actually, I forgot this movie even came out and had no intention of seeing it, until a friend mentioned it a few hours before he was going to see it. Sean, I just gave you a shout out. You're welcome. So imagine my pleasant surprise when this movie actually turned out to be fairly decent. I say this cautiously because there were some parts that were kind of and they were pretty big but they're also Emma Stone. Okay, before you start shaking your head on me being the typical Kev, let me just say something for my good conscience. Emma Stone is not that hot. Yes, you heard it correctly. I personally don't find her all that attractive. She has a very funny personality, but that shit ain't gonna get you laid. Just kidding, she gets laid plenty. See, there's no way to make this not come off wrong. So let me start over by saying that she's an amazing actress. So don't get me wrong. I liked her a lot in Superbad and Easy A and Zombieland and The House Bunny. Yes, I watched The House Bunny. Guys, don't lie to yourself. Yes, you have. So there, I think Emma Stone is one of those rare breeds in Hollywood who isn't playing by the rules. And that's what makes her awesome. Plus, her chemistry with Andrew Garfield, that's the guy who plays Spider-Man, is way better than the non-existent awkward-thon between Tobey Maguire and Kristen Dunst. So Emma Stone makes up a majority of what's great about this movie. And the film itself is probably one of the most faithful adaptations of Marvel comic books. Also, the Green Goblin in this movie is way cooler than Halloween Mask in a Sam Raimi version. Hans Zimmer, the composer of Inception, The Dark Knight, The Gladiator, The Last Samurai, The Lion King, plus many more iconic soundtracks, provided music with this movie with Pharrell Williams. No joke, Pharrell Williams collaborated with Hans Zimmer in this movie. Imagine how that conversation went down. Hey P. Willie, I dig your happy MV, man. It's got some sick beats to it. Oh, thanks Hans Zimmer, one of the greatest composers out there. I would love to add some dubsteps into your music, but Spider-Man is doing some ultra slow jumps from skyscrapers to the head of Statue of Liberty. I don't know. Well, I mean, the music was great, and therefore the entire movie feels more organic and richer than the first Spider-Man reboot. Having said all of that, the director Mark Webb, haha, the director last name is Webb and he's doing a Spider-Man film, haha, who is most famous for making 500 Days of Summer with Zooey Deschanel, is still not experienced enough, in my opinion, to handle a big budget film this big in scale. So while the on and off teenage romance crap is on point, the dialogues and the motivations behind some of the characters' actions were either over the top or straight up WTF. Without any spoilers, I would advise those who haven't seen the movie to keep your expectations at a reasonable level. It's not a bad movie, it's far from a bad movie, but it could have been a lot better in terms of executions and delivery. The last Spider-Man 2 we had became the Spider-Man movie, the golden standard for the superhero movies should be. And The Amazing Spider-Man 2 fell short a lot in comparison. It really should have been called The Amazing Spider-Man because, honestly, filmmakers probably attended Chris Nolan filmmaking school. The entire movie is dark. Like, I couldn't see what's going on the screen half the time. No, dark as in it was exceptionally gritty for a Marvel film. So much so that Spider-Man is not really in it a lot. This was more of a Peter Parker story. I feel like this movie really should have been called The Adequate Spider-Man, or The Angsty Peter Parker, or Emma Stone steals every scene she's in, or Jamie Foxx is the first black comic book villain who only stayed black for 5 minutes before turning blue, or more slow-mo shots than the first Matrix. Or wait, Paul Giamatti's in this movie? See, this is the problem with the superhero movies now. Gone are the old days where they were just campy and fun. Everyone is going for the Nolan-fied approach, but it just doesn't work for every movie. I mean, the moral of this film is appreciated, but just how the moral comes about, that's the question. Also, the length of this movie is way too long. People actually started texting after the 2-hour mark. So yeah, you just watched the rant about the new movie 500 Days of Peter Parker. So I hope it gives a little perspective on what to expect. So be sure to give this video a thumb up or subscribe if you haven't done so already. But this was just my own personal 6 cents about the film. Ultimately, there's only one message you need to take away from this video. Animal brutality is a huge issue that we need to address. Donate now or call 1-800-628-0028. Okay, maybe they sponsored me just a little bit. No, they didn't. What the is that?